This is 5 on your side at noon. Focused on you.
Our storm coverage continues today at noon. Another round of heavy rain leads to flash flooding in areas to our south, and the chance of storms isn't over yet. Thanks so much for being here. I'm Kay Quinn. We begin with a look at conditions right now. You may not have seen a lot of rain in your backyard, but severe weather and heavy rain created problems south of the metro. Meteorologist Tracy Hinson here now with the outlook for the rest of the day. She has the weather first forecast. Tracy.
Yes, Kay, and it's much quieter than last night when Gene sent this video in to us. Thank you so much, Gene, for sending it. He's part of our weather Facebook group, so please join us on the 5 on your side. Weather Watchers, we would love to have you. Thank you so much, Gene, for sending this in. Over St. James, Missouri, quite the show of lightning. It was really something last night. At one point, I measured a little over 3,000 strikes of lightning. The Doppler radar, this is over the past 24 hours here. You can see that line of storms that generated all that lightning as it came through Farmington. It dropped some severe storms in there as well. Scott and I were up late tracking that system for you. Right now, things are quiet, and there is a flash flood warning. That is just due to all that excess rainfall that is in that area, that runoff in that area that is causing those streams and creeks to overflow a bit. So this is for Madison, St. Francis, and St. Genevieve counties, just in that limited area there. And that does expire at 1:45. That's when we think that risk will be over. Rainfall estimates with this system, no doubt, they were very impressive. This is over the past 48 hours. We should include yesterday morning, just because that did amplify the effects of what we saw today because the ground was already saturated. So within only the past 48 hours, some spots near Herman and into Gerald got close to 10 to 11 inches of rainfall. I'll zoom in on this in a little bit and show you some up close details, and then I'll go over our 7-day forecast.
All right, we'll see you then. Thank you, Tracy. About 14,000 Ameren customers are without power right now, and it's all because of damage like this in Potosi. Winds knocked down trees and power lines. Crews were prepared. They're working to get the power restored right now. People in St. Francis County cleaning up today as well. 5 on your side's Alex Fees shows us the damage in Bonne Terre.
High winds overnight resulted in a very close call for one family in this part of St. Francis County. Now, we are coming to you from the town of Bonne Terre this morning near the intersection of Southwest Main and Cross. A huge tree uprooted and pushed over by high winds last night. This happened about 10:45 and narrowly missed this 2-story house by just a matter of feet. You can see the tree absolutely crushed the garage next to the house. A family of 5 lives here. We spoke to the homeowner, Jared Ragsdale.
So I tried looking out the windows and I couldn't see anything. It was so windy. So when I went out my kitchen window and I looked out, I could see it, and it was sitting right outside my kitchen window, like maybe a foot from the window. And where it came down at, actually, my 2 children's rooms are up there, and they were in their rooms at the time that this storm had started, and they had come in our room screaming and crying.
Ragsdale allowed us into his backyard so we can show you what's left of the root ball here, easily 20 feet in diameter. Now, I must say we've seen a lot of that this storm season for some reason. I don't know why, but we've seen a lot of cases like this one where high winds didn't break the tree trunk. Rather, instead, it just uprooted the tree and pushed the whole thing over. Reporting in Bonne Terre, Alex Fees, 5 on your side.
I'm Justina Cornell reporting in Farmington, an hour south of St. Louis. Now 70-mile-per-hour winds came through this area, knocking down trees and several down power lines. And even knocking down a traffic light off of Weber Road, causing some traffic delays this morning. Traffic lights can weigh 30 to 50 pounds, and those winds knocked it to the ground. Farmington Emergency Management tells me heavy rain and winds early this morning delayed some MoDOT and field crews doing some work due to safety reasons. Now they urge you to be safe.
Most deaths occur in flash flooding events, while you're in your car. So it's important that you pay attention and don't try to cross water that may be crossing a road or a street. That's our big concern right now.
With the potential of traffic lights out not only in Farmington but also throughout the St. Louis region, please be cautious. The biggest advice is to slow down. Reporting in Farmington, Justina Cornell, 5 on your side.
Not just wind, but lightning posed a danger overnight. Take a look at the damage to this house in Fenton. Lightning struck the property, sparking a fire. There were no reports of any injuries. We're getting a lot of pictures from you. This is a photo of flash flooding this morning in Park Hills, taken by Dylan Vogelsang. You can see the water rose during the height of the storm. We want to see your flooding photos. You can text them to us at 314-425-5355. Today, Missouri Governor Mike Parson and MoDOT officials unveil a new railroad safety plan. It comes a year after a deadly Amtrak crash near the town of Mendon. The plan, announced about 30 minutes ago, is part of House Bill 4, which grants $50 million to improving rail crossing safety on Missouri's 3 state rail lines. In June of last year, 4 people died when an Amtrak train collided with a dump truck at railroad crossings that had no warning lights. Also today, a convicted cyber stalker who threatened to rape and kill women will be sentenced in St. Louis County. Robert Merkel pleaded guilty last month to federal charges as a prior and persistent offender. He pleaded guilty to similar charges in 2018. He will be sentenced at 3 p.m. 5 on Your Side's Christine Byers will be at the courthouse. Look for her reports tonight at 5 and 6. Developing today, Donald Trump due in court to face a judge over charges he tried to overturn the 2020 presidential election. This is the former president's 3rd indictment. As NBC's Drew Petrimo reports, law enforcement is promising tight security for his 3 p.m. hearing.
Barriers surround a courthouse in Washington, D.C., where former President Trump is set to be arraigned today in front of a federal judge. He's facing 4 felony counts for what prosecutors say were Trump's efforts to remain in power even after he lost the 2020 election to Joe Biden. Despite Trump's claims that the prosecution is a political hit, his former Vice President Mike Pence says Trump did pressure him to overturn the election.
And on that day, President Trump asked me to put him over the Constitution, but I chose the Constitution. And I always will.
After Pence refused, prosecutors say Trump used an angry mob assembled at the Capitol on January 6 to pressure Pence more directly. The indictment says Trump also led a scheme to overturn election results in 7 states.
Pressuring Mike Pence, gathering false slates of electors, trying to weaponize the Justice Department by sending letters to legislatures suggesting they reconvene and substitute their own slates of electors. It's all of that conduct that is the gist of this case.
This is the 3rd indictment for Trump, this one splitting candidates in the Republican primary.
But I believe each of these indictments, Brett, reek of politicization.
Donald Trump, for the good of the country, should drop out of the race.
Voters also weighing in.
If ever he has earned and deserved something, it's another indictment.
If he's on the ballot, my plan is to vote for him.
Trump remains the far and away leader in the Republican race and is using his legal troubles to rally supporters and rake in campaign cash. The federal judge presiding over this case is Tanya Chutkan. She is an Obama appointee known for handing out tough prison sentences to people involved in the January 6 riot. Drew Petrimo, NBC News, Washington.
And the former president could be in more legal trouble. The Fulton County District Attorney in Georgia says she'll make a decision by September on whether to charge the former president over allegations he tried to overturn the election result in that state. Meanwhile, this local man, known as the Rally Runner, has been arrested in connection with the January 6th Capitol riots. Daniel Donnelly faces 5 federal charges. He was caught on camera with red face paint, sunglasses, and a Make America Great Again hat. Agents say he used a stolen shield to help other rioters attack police officers. Donnelly earned the nickname Rally Runner for running around Busch Stadium during Cardinal games with his face painted red. Lizzo, still all the talk on social media, how the singer is responding to the lawsuit filed against her by former dancers. And we open the KSDK vault and remember one of the biggest news stories in St. Louis history, 30 years after the Great Flood.